The Apple September event has come and gone, and with it came a few changes to the iPhone lineup. Let's take a look at what is new with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. First, the biggest and most noticeable change is the build of the phone. The front and back of the phone stays the same, but now the sides of the phone are made of titanium instead of stainless steel. This is a rather big change as the rails on the side of the iPhone 12, 13, and 14 Pro Max are fingerprint magnets. There is no way to keep those clean. This will also make the phone lighter, which will be felt most in the Pro Max, as we are losing about 10% of the weight here, and all this while making the phone stronger and less likely to show dings and scratches, because this is one of the biggest things that I noticed with the Apple Watch Ultra, and I've been wearing that for almost a year now, and it still looks like the day I bought it. I cannot say the same for my Series 5 and my Series 3 after wearing them for a full year. Speaking of the Apple Watch Ultra, the Pro line of iPhones will be receiving the action button instead of the mute switch. The last standing feature from the original iPhone is gone, and with the action button, you can use it as a mute switch, a focus mode selector, flashlight, camera shortcut, voice memos, or you can launch a custom shortcut created by you, or choose from popular options. I will be creating something similar to the shortcut that I created for the Apple Watch Ultra, with specific changes depending on what focus mode I am currently in. For example, if I'm in a sleep focus mode, it would launch the flashlight, as I'm most likely walking through a dark house. If I'm in my driving focus mode, it would launch voice memos for when I need to remember something later in the day. These do take some time to create, but it makes that button a huge improvement over the standard programming Apple allows. With the new Pro phones comes a new processor with a new name. The A17 Pro is the new name for the chip inside Apple's latest Pro phones. And to be honest, I was expecting more of a difference in the specs. With the change to the 3nm process, I thought Apple was set to share big numbers. But Apple only compares to Apple. And year over year, we learned that yes, it's better, but if you are buying the new phone for a speed upgrade, it's just not the reason to do so. Buy these for security and longevity, but I will give props to Android manufacturers because they are getting closer and closer to Apple's bar-setting longevity in terms of updates. This update, it does seem to focus more on mobile gaming, with hardware ray tracing now available rather than using just software. It just makes the experience more smooth. Looking to the cameras, the triple camera array has returned for the iPhone 15 Pro. The main camera is still a 48 megapixel shooter, and Apple is adding different focal lengths to its camera to give a little bit of a different look. But the phone will use a 24 megapixel image with a zoom in at 2x optical zoom. But the best change in my eyes is the portrait upgrade. I know with me, I sometimes forget to change the option to a portrait photo and don't get the benefits of the portrait image. But now, the AI and the software with the help from the neural engine in your phone knows when it should be a portrait image and will automatically allow you to change the option afterwards, which is a huge change. Also with portraits, it will allow you to change the focus after even taking the shot. Similar to cinematic mode, you can change the focus while editing on your phone. But I am sure once the phone is transferred to a third-party software, the data will no longer be usable, so watch out for that. And then the biggest upgrade for the cameras was the announcement of the 5x optical zoom. Now obviously, Apple cannot build a 120mm lens into the iPhone, as they are generally quite enormous. So they are bouncing light multiple times to replicate a 120mm lens, which we will have to see if it is any good when the iPhones start shipping. And maybe the biggest change that everyone will notice is the change to USB-C. And I was not against Lightning, other than the USB 2 speeds and the lack of quick charging, but Apple is bringing USB 3.0 to the Pro phones, which gives us 10 gigabytes of speed. Now, this isn't Thunderbolt, but it's a move in the right direction. But Apple did not do this willingly. If you remember a ruling by the EU in 2022, they stated that all phones sold will require USB-C by fall 2024. And here we are. with both models carrying USB-C, which just opens the gates to do so many more accessories and such, like monitors, hard drives, microphones, and more can now be plugged into the iPhone without needing a lightning adapter. And this change just allows me to charge everything with a single cable. Computers, tablets, phones, and so on are now all USB-C. But even with the change to the USB-C, the fast charging rate has not changed. So it is still going to take 2 hours to fully charge your iPhone. A slight miss, if you ask me, but I am sure they are saving that upgrade for another year. Now on to battery, and the battery is just crazy on these phones. Apple is stating 29 hours on the 15 Pro Max, which in my eyes, if you can get over 20 hours on a phone in a single charge, that is a solid 2 days of battery. Any more than that is just a bonus. Now, with the rumors that were circling, pricing was set to go up for the first time in the US, and it has, but only for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It has gone up $100, but they are also bumping the minimum storage to 256 gigabyte model. So technically, it is the same price as last year, so not too much of a big deal. So there it is. That is everything new with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Let me know down below if you're picking one up and what color you are going for. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you next Sunday in my next upload.